Princess Leonor STUNS Copenhagen, Queen Margrethe II greets her. The streets of Copenhagen have always been filled with history, cobblestones carrying the footsteps of kings and queens, grand palaces standing as symbols of tradition. But on this day, something different electrified the city. The arrival of Spain's future queen. Many expected formality, a polite visit, a routine diplomatic gesture. But what unfolded was nothing short of breathtaking. Because as Princess Leonor stepped into the heart of Denmark, she did not simply arrive as a guest. She arrived as a vision of the future. And then, something no one anticipated, Queen Margrethe II herself extended a greeting so warm, so personal, that it shattered expectations and left the entire royal world stunned. This wasn't just a handshake between monarch and heir. It was a symbolic moment, a passing of recognition, a bridge between generations. But why was this meeting so significant? Why did this single day in Copenhagen capture hearts across Europe and beyond? To understand, we must first look at the context, the families, and the delicate layers of history and emotion that brought these two royal women together. Leonor of Spain has long been known as the quiet yet resolute heir. Trained from childhood for duty, carrying the expectations of her nation, and balancing the modernity of her mother, Queen Letizia, with the tradition of her father, King Felipe VI. Copenhagen, on the other hand, is the home of Prince Christian, Denmark's young heir and Leonor's partner in a romance that has not only captured the imagination of their people, but also created whispers of a new European royal bond. So when Leonor stepped onto Danish soil, the symbolism was impossible to ignore. Was this merely a state gesture, or was it something far deeper, a sign of unity, a prelude to a future where the monarchies of Spain and Denmark intertwine not just through politics, but through family? And then there was Queen Margrethe II. A monarch whose reign has spanned more than 5 decades, beloved for her wisdom, her resilience, and her fierce commitment to duty. She has seen generations rise and fall, yet rarely has she shown such personal warmth to a visiting royal heir. So why Leonor? Why now? As cameras flashed and voices hushed, the moment unfolded. Margrethe, regal yet smiling, leaned forward not with the stiffness of protocol, but with the grace of a grandmother. Her gesture seemed to say, "Welcome, you are one of us." For Leonor, this was more than a greeting. It was validation, a recognition of her role not only in Spain's future but in Europe's shared destiny. What followed was even more extraordinary. Instead of a scripted appearance, the two women lingered in conversation. Their exchange, though brief, radiated warmth. Leonor, poised yet visibly touched, responded with a gracious smile that revealed both her training and her humanity. It was here that Copenhagen, and the world, saw not just a princess, but a queen in waiting, one who could command a stage yet remain deeply relatable. But what did they discuss? What words passed between them? No microphone caught the whispers, but royal observers speculate. Some believe Margrethe offered wisdom, perhaps recalling her own early years in a male-dominated royal world. Others suggest she welcomed Leonor into the inner circle of Europe's monarchs, signaling trust and kinship. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain, the bond struck that day will ripple far beyond the walls of Amalienborg Palace. As the ceremony continued, the reaction spoke volumes. Danish citizens cheered not only for their queen but for Leonor, whose elegance and dignity left them enchanted. Spanish supporters, watching from afar, felt a surge of pride. And commentators across Europe agreed, Leonor's presence in Copenhagen was no mere formality, it was a declaration. Yet this moment also raised questions. What does Queen Margrethe's gesture mean for the future of Denmark, especially as whispers of her eventual abdication grow louder? Could this encounter signal her quiet endorsement of Leonor, recognizing her as a future equal among Europe's sovereigns? And how does Christian, Denmark's own heir, fit into this unfolding narrative? The symbolism here is undeniable. Spain's future queen and Denmark's future king, linked not only by affection but by history, now publicly embraced by the reigning matriarch of Denmark herself. The weight of it all is extraordinary. For Leonor, this trip was more than diplomacy. It was a coming of age, a chance to step onto the world stage not just as Spain's princess, but as Europe's future monarch. And for Queen Margrethe, it was a chance to impart a legacy, to ensure that the next generation of royals carries forward the dignity, wisdom, and humanity that have defined her reign. Still, deeper emotions stir beneath the surface. Imagine Queen Letizia, watching from afar, seeing her daughter so warmly embraced by another queen. Imagine King Felipe, recalling his own struggles to balance duty and family, now watching his daughter forge bonds that will strengthen Spain's role in Europe. And imagine Christian, standing nearby, knowing that this is not just a moment for his nation but for his future as well. The beauty of this moment lies in its duality. On the surface, it was a simple greeting. But beneath, it was an unspoken pact, a sign that monarchy, for all its tradition, still thrives on personal connection, trust, and love. As the day drew to a close, Copenhagen seemed to shine a little brighter. Citizens spoke of Leonor's elegance, her humility, her ability to carry herself with both grace and warmth. Queen Margrethe, in her quiet yet powerful way, reminded the world why monarchy endures, not because of crowns or titles, but because of the human bonds that tie generations together. And so, history will remember this day. Not as a mere diplomatic visit, but as the day Princess Leonor stunned Copenhagen. The day a queen in her twilight greeted a queen of tomorrow. The day two worlds, past and future, met in a single, unforgettable embrace. This was not just a visit. It was a message that Europe's royal families, though steeped in tradition, are united by something greater: love, legacy, and the promise of a future written not only in history books, but in the hearts of their people. And as Leonor departed, leaving behind the echo of applause and admiration, one truth lingered in the air: she is ready. Ready to lead, ready to love, ready to carry forward the legacy entrusted to her. And in that fleeting, powerful moment with Queen Margrethe II, the world was reminded that the crown is not merely worn, it is earned.